Let's go to Chris Saxman from. Sorry about that, Chris Saxman. He got me all fired up. Chris Saxman from Virginia Free, regular on the John Fredericks Show. One of my good friends, a voice of reason. I want to get to energy, Chris Saxman. Why can't we get this pipeline done that we've been fighting for that for 50 months?
Oh, it's coming along. I think the FERC process is coming along. And you have to give a lot of credit to you. You called him McGenius on Medicaid, but Terry McAuliffe was a strong leader on the pipeline from the get-go, day one.
Yep.
When they announced this, I was in the front row of the press conference, sitting next to the First Lady and Majority Leader, Speaker Designate Kurt Cox. So he's been hats off to Terry McAuliffe, and folks need to give always need to give him credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. When I first sat down with McAuliffe when he was running for office, I actually had lunch with he and LeVar Stoney up in D.C., and I said, "Why are you running for governor?" And the first word out of his mouth, John, was like a shotgun, bang, jobs. He wants to create jobs, and so I got to give him credit where credit is due, and getting that pipeline throughout the state, the Atlantic Coast, and the Mountain Valley to create jobs and heat the homes in the winter and cool them off in the summer is critical. So it's in the process. It's coming along.
And what about energy overall? Talk to us about that.
Well, prices are down for electricity. You look at the gas prices at the pump; they're down. They're on a deflationary cycle, which is due to the American energy renaissance that's occurring. Our technology in the mid-aughts really drove through fracking the supply. It's changing the geopolitical landscape, and it's showing up in our wallets. And I don't know if our economy would be doing what it's doing or would have been doing for the last 8 years. Everyone's claiming this great success for the last 8 years for the economy, the previous administration, but without hydraulic fracturing, they wouldn't have that. There's no way. We'd still have $4 gas. OPEC would still be having barrel prices over $150. Remember those days?
Yep.
And American ingenuity and technology and innovation and policies have driven the change that is being experienced at the gas pump and on your electricity bills and on your gas bills. And that's something that we should be, embracing, because it's also lowering emissions. So not only are we lowering emissions, mm-hmm. but we're also helping the poor and the working poor by providing energy at lower costs so they can go to work and put more money in the bank and try to raise themselves out of poverty. That's good stuff.
Look, no question, it is good. We got to get these pipelines done. Chris, let's talk about, just for a second, Dominion Power. And there's kind of a movement underfoot to try to undo the deal that was made with Frank Wagner leading it in 2015 to hold rates steady, not do the audits. That was because of the Clean Power Act. But now you got some people in the General Assembly, they want to undo that deal. Even Terry McAuliffe mentioned it, saying that too many things have changed. But then the other argument is, which is my argument, is we made a deal, prices are down, energy cost is down. I think Frank Wagner running for governor, I think he did the exact right thing. And so what's everybody complaining about?
Well, I mean, the argument is that we did this because of the Clean Power Plan. Because we have to make all these adjustments in our power plans, we have to give, our primary utility provider the opportunity to pay for these things. So let's lower and freeze rates and, put money into solar power. We'll do some good things there. And it started to work. The problem was, for a lot of people who opposed it or oppose it now or want to change it, is because they lost the election. They think the Clean Power Plan is gone. It's not gone. Okay? It's not gone. It still has to go through a process to have it gone. And then, as we know, look in healthcare, I said repeal in place. That's going to happen, right? Well, is it going to happen or is it not going to happen? I mean, the political tides can change. So they still have to go through that. In the meantime, what you've said to Dominion is, okay, go ahead and put all these costs on yourself. Now we're going to change it. And that's a very difficult proposition when you're trying to actually pay for the capital that you have to expend. So this is where government has to allow the policies that they put in place to work and quit changing the rules in the middle of the game. I'm still trying to get over the designated hitter rule. I have a problem with that 40 years ago.
That was 40 years ago.
It's like watching the American League. It's untenable. I can't watch it.
Well, I'm a lifelong.
But my point is, when you change the rules so substantially in the middle of the game and expect billions of dollars to continue to be implemented to create lower emissions, to create lower rates, to help the consumer. You can't change it in the middle of the game and keep switching gears. It's for businesses. It's like that. It's like a dance. Like, is the song going to speed up? Is it going to slow down? Is it going to speed up? Is it going to slow down? You can't do it.
Are you in favor of keeping the Frank Wagner Dominion rate deal in place or not?
I think changing what the state government agreed to several years ago, 2 years ago, would not be good.
I agree.
I think that's been our position at Virginia Free.
I agree. I love to take the populist view, but I'm also pride myself, like I'm doing with Medicaid expansion now, on just common sense. You made a deal, you stick by the deal, rates are down. And as Wagner says, you can't find any other thing where prices are down. So whatever deal they made, it seems to be working. But I think if you make a deal, you got to stick by it through whatever the terms of it are. And so I think
because Dominion has expended a lot of money to accommodate that, and all the storms that they have covered the cost of. That's the look. I mean,
right.
And it might be one situation where we go through a longer review of all the rates in the first place rather than an annual review. Because it's so costly. But at the end of the day, if you're going to change the laws, you have to let the market run, right?
Right.
Or you have to let the utilities provide what they're going to provide based upon what you said they were going to do.
Right.
Don't change it in midstream.
Right. I know. I think you're exactly right. All right. We're out of time for this segment. I want to thank Chris Saxman for being with us, president of Virginia Free. This is the John Fredericks Radio Network, Trucking the Truth.